if ice floats, shouldn't vapor sink? It's kind of weird, right? Because you have three states. We have gas, we have liquid, and we have solid. The more dense they are decides if they are going to float or if they are going to sink. And so universally, most materials follow this rule. But then why the most common thing that we have, that we live on, water, goes against this principle that is seen everywhere? Because if ice floats, what would happen if it actually sank? Well, then the film Titanic would never happen, and most of the things that are living in the ocean would actually die. So does the ice break the laws of physics? I'm not the smartest of all, but I'm going to try to explain it simply so that you can understand it the way that I understood it. Because what happens with most substances is that the colder they are, the closer their molecules get. And of course, the closer they get, the more dense the material is. And as we all know, density is what decides if the thing is gonna float or if it's gonna sink. So automatically the colder should mean denser. But with a water molecule, what happens is that the electrons in the oxygen are a bit closer, and in the hydrogens they are a bit further away, which makes the oxygen actually a bit of a minus, which makes the molecule polar. And the really important part is that the molecule of water has a degree between the hydrogen atoms of 104.45 degrees. And as we make it colder, about 4 degrees Celsius, they get close enough that these pluses and minuses of the hydrogens and oxygens actually start to form together, and they start connecting, forming these big structures. But there's one thing about the structure that's weird: the holes that the structure creates, because these holes weren't there when the structure was in a liquid state. So then the structure that's actually solid looks a bit more like Emmental cheese, which has these holes inside. And what does holes inside mean? Well, it means a bit less mass, because the liquid state was actually a lot more dense because the molecules were closer. Because in the solid state, they form the formations or the structures that have the holes, and even though they are more tight, the holes create the less density, so the ice actually is able to float. And so that's why water is so special. Because in the gas state, the molecules are just hot enough that they move around, having completely small density. So the vapor is the one that follows the rules, but the ice is the one that breaks them. And it's amazing to me how science can always explain all of this to me. So I hope you were able to extract something from the knowledge that I was trying to pass here today. I hope you enjoyed my drawings, because it was my first try trying them out. And if you really enjoyed them, here are some other videos. Innovitek, until next time.